Did you say, quote, Republicanism is an anti-democratic virus?
No, Senator, I don't believe I've used those words.
Okay, you're under oath now.
Yes, Senator, I don't believe I've used those words.
Okay.
I do remember saying last year that there was a loss of confidence in our elections that has spread kind of like a virus.
Right. Well, that's a long way from calling the Republican Party an anti-democratic virus.
Yes, it's very different, and I don't believe I used those words, Senator.
Right. If you did use those words, will you pull down your nomination?
In a tense Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, Senator John Kennedy confronts a Democrat judicial nominee over past statements, social media posts, and alleged derogatory comments aimed at Republicans. What followed was a fiery exchange filled with pressing questions, repeated demands for clarity, and pointed challenges. The room grew tense as Kennedy pushed for answers, and the nominee struggled to provide them. The hearing opened with Senator Kennedy addressing the nominee's self-description as a wild-eyed sort of leftist. The nominee quickly clarified, saying this was more of a caricature others might use, not how they saw themselves. Kennedy wasted no time pivoting to a more serious accusation, asking if the nominee had ever called Republicanism an anti-democratic virus. Seat back and let's dive right in.
You've described yourself as a, quote, wild-eyed sort of leftist. Do I have that right?
Senator, I think I was referring to a caricature of the way that I think other people may have described me, not how I would describe myself. And I want to assure you that I understand that the role of a judge is to set aside whatever personal views that person may have.
I heard your testimony. Have you called Republicanism, well, strike that. Did you say, quote, Republicanism is an anti-democratic virus?
No, Senator, I don't believe I've used those words.
Okay, you're under oath now.
Yes, Senator, I don't believe I've used those words.
Okay.
I do remember saying last year that there was a loss of confidence in our elections that has spread kind of like a virus.
Right. Well, that's a long way from calling the Republican Party an anti-democratic virus.
Yes, it's very different, and I don't believe I used those words, Senator.
Right. If you did use those words, will you pull down your nomination?
Senator, I don't believe I've used those words.
But if you did, will you withdraw?
It's hard for me to imagine a scenario in which I would
I'm just
use
saying,
those
assume
words.
it. If you said it, will you withdraw?
If I were quoting someone else saying it to describe that kind of sentence, I wouldn't be expressing my own views. But Senator, I don't believe I've ever used those words. I've represented.
Did you when you sent out those personal tweets about Senator Cotton, Senator Blackburn, and Senator Cornyn? Did you mean them at the time?
Without hearing those tweets, Senator Kennedy, it's hard for me to remember precisely, what was said or what I was thinking at the time. I do very much regret the tone that I've taken on social media from time to time. I know that I've crossed the line from time to time, and
When you crossed the line, did you mean it?
Without knowing the specific context or the specific tweet that you're referring to, Senator Kennedy, it's kind of hard for me to say, but
do you generally tweet things you don't mean?
Senator Kennedy, I would agree with you that Twitter has become a very coarse place.
I don't want to debate Twitter. Do you generally tweet things that you don't mean?
Well, Senator Kennedy, I've contributed to the coarseness on Twitter sometimes by pushing the envelope to break through.
Right, but when you did it, did you mean it?
It's hard for me to respond to that kind of generally, Senator Kennedy, without a specific
You're a smart
example.
guy. Sure you can. You either meant it or you didn't. You got two choices, door A, door B.
Well, Senator Kennedy, I know that I've pushed the envelope.
Okay.
And
Do you regret it?
I do regret it, Senator.
Do you
Kennedy.
regret it because you didn't mean it? Or do you regret it because it might cause you not to be confirmed?
Senator Kennedy, I regret it because I think it's contributed to the coarseness of our discourse overall, and I think it would be
When
better.
did you have this epiphany that everybody has equal dignity and worth? When you were nominated, or
Well, I believe you're
including Republicans?
Well, I believe you're referring to my religious faith.
No, I'm not.
Senator.
I'm referring to your coarseness.
Well, the equal dignity and worth is a principle of my religious faith, Senator.
It's also a principle of morals and good judgment. I'm over. Mr. Ho, you're a smart man, I can tell. But I think you're an angry man. And I really have great concerns about voting for you. We don't need federal judges who are angry. We need federal judges who are fair and can see both points of view. And you said these things. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator John Kennedy's relentless line of questioning wasn't about scoring political points. It was about protecting the integrity of the federal bench. Time and again, he pressed the nominee for clear, direct answers, refusing to accept half measures or political spin. By drilling down on past statements, inflammatory tweets, and the tone of public discourse, Kennedy exposed a deeper issue. The temperament and impartiality essential for a judge were in serious question. In holding the nominee accountable, Kennedy reminded everyone that the role of a federal judge is not to carry personal grudges or partisan hostility into the courtroom, but to uphold fairness, justice, and the Constitution without bias. His firm stance sent a clear message that the judiciary must be above political brawls and personal vendettas. Kennedy's unwillingness to back down demonstrated his commitment to preserving the dignity of the courts and defending the rule of law, even when the truth makes people uncomfortable. In that moment, he showed exactly why such scrutiny is necessary to protect the trust of the American people. As the exchange drew to a close, Kennedy delivered a pointed assessment. The nominee was intelligent, but angry. And America did not need angry judges. What the nation needed, he argued, were fair, balanced arbiters of justice who could see all sides without bias. Kennedy's final words left no doubt about his skepticism toward this nominee's temperament.